Hey everybody, welcome to the homestead. So today we're going to make some kefir. We have been making kefir off and on throughout the years, and we're making kefir right now. Jamie is enjoying the kefir drink because they had her since she was in the hospital on a number of antibiotics, and kefir is a great way to put healthy bacteria back into your system. And so it's one of the benefits of it. Also, it has no sugar, and so we're trying to keep her off sugar as much as possible. So you take kefir, you make kefir out of milk. It removes the sugar, the lactose that's inside of it, and provides a non-sugar drink for you to enjoy. And also for people who are lactose intolerant, that's not us here, but if that's you and you're lactose intolerant, people who are lactose intolerant and cannot enjoy milk or raw milk even, kefir is something that should give you no problem because all of the lactose has been taken out by the bacteria. So this is something that we've been doing here on the homestead. I'm going to show you how we're doing it here in our kitchen, and then we're going to talk about some of the amazing history behind kefir. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first things first, this has been sitting on our counter now for about 2 days, and so we're going to take this off. It's just a coffee filter held on by a rubber band, and we're going to take this and we're going to pour it in the bowl, and then we're going to work it to get all of the kefir grains separated from the actual kefir, which will be below, and then we'll bottle that separately. And then we'll add the kefir grains that are left over inside of this strainer here into the new batch of milk, which is right here. So just pour it in. It's going to be kind of clumpy at first. That's okay. All the kefir grains are on top. It's going to be very clumpy. So we'll start off with that, and all you got to do is just kind of go ahead and grab that like that. Just kind of work it in. And it's going to go through the strainer and leave behind all of those kefir grains that started the process to begin with. So some amazing history behind kefir. It was first, I guess, noted in history about the 1860s in Russia and Eastern Europe. And what's amazing is that, I find this totally fascinating, is that no one has been able to recreate kefir grains, okay? The kefir grains that you may use or that you may have used in the past are direct clones from the kefir grains that were originally used in Russia or Eastern Europe. Nobody knows how kefir grains were originally created. And no one today has been able to recreate them. In fact, there's been scientists in laboratories that have tried and have failed and have not been able to recreate and make kefir grains, which are these right here. These are kefir grains. So all the stuff has now been filtered through in the strainer, and you're left behind with all these kefir grains. And they reproduce themselves naturally through the milk as they break down the sugars inside of the milk. But no, if you have kefir grains, you have direct clones of the original kefir grains that were used in Russia or Eastern Europe. Whenever this process got started, whoever created this, somebody created this and has not been able to be recreated by science today. I find that completely fascinating. So, all right, we got that there. We'll go ahead and pour some more in. And we'll work that through. So yeah, what happens is the bacteria will go ahead and break down the sugars, and a number of things are happening. A number of acids are produced during that process, and even a little bit of alcohol, or actually ethanol, is produced, which is, all of that is the preservative, which keeps the milk okay to drink. So it's all preservative. Just like alcohol, when you make wine, the sugars are eaten by the yeast and bacteria, and what is produced is alcohol, which is the preservative. And even in milk kefir, a small amount of alcohol or ethanol is produced, and all of that acts as, along with the other acids, is a preservative. Okay, so I'm getting kind of full there. I'm hitting the bottom of the strainer. I got a little bit more to go. So I find the process completely fascinating. And it's something it's a very healthy drink. It's especially if you have gastro issues where you need to clean out your gut, or you've been on heavy antibiotics and you need to repopulate your body with healthy bacteria. There is no better way to do it than this. You can go to the health food store and buy probiotics and all kinds of you know, cultures and things like that to put healthy bacteria back in your body, but there's no way you're gonna be able to beat that. So there we go. There's all the grains left over, and the kefir is below, and so we'll go ahead and bottle this, and then we're gonna go ahead and start the grains on a new batch of milk right here. Okay, so I've got those sealed up. These are gonna go in the cooler outside to keep cool, and Jamie will drink these throughout the week. So let's go ahead and get started on the new batch. All right, so we're gonna start with a clean jar, and we're gonna pour in this milk into the jar. Again, this is raw, fresh, raw milk. Now I filled that a little full. I'm gonna need to dump some of that out because you want room for the kefir grains to work. So we usually do it about here. So now I'm just going to dump the kefir grains inside and they will go to work. The only thing left to do is replace the filter, a simple coffee filter and a rubber band. That's it. Let that sit in your counter for about 2 days. Some people do it for 24 hours. It's up to you. You know, you can experiment and see what you like better. We usually let it sit for 2 days, and then after that, refrigerate. But there you go. That's all you gotta do. Let it sit on the counter. Don't keep it cool. Just leave it open air, room temperature for about 2 days, and you've got your kefir. And then just filter it out like you saw me do previously. So that's it. This is how we make our kefir grains. You may be wondering, where can I get some kefir grains? If I can't make them on my own, well, then you have to go out and search for them. Usually people on Facebook or other social media platforms will share their kefir grains. And you send them a little bit of PayPal money, and then they will send them to you in the mail, or you can buy them from stores. Some stores online will sell them. If you just search for kefir grains, where to purchase, on Google or any search engine, you should be able to find some kefir grains. And again, these are some of the, they're just clones from the original that were made back in Russia somehow, some way, by some unknown person back in the 1860s. We really don't know. It dates back that far. It may date back farther than that, but history tells us 1860s, somewhere in Russia or Eastern Europe. So again, just very fascinating history behind kefir grains. Again, if you are someone who has lactose intolerance, this is a drink for you that won't bother you. And we find it very tasty. It may be sort of an acquired taste at first. It's kind of like a soured milk or sour flavor, kind of carbonated a little bit. We enjoy it. We really like it. Also, if you have issues with bacteria in your gut and not having enough good bacteria for gastrointestinal issues, this is a great drink to add good, healthy bacteria back into your system. So research all that and try it yourself and see what you think. I suspect that most of our audience has already tried this or makes it on their own or has made it on their own at some point. So because that's just the kind of audience we have. All right, guys, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Please share the video, subscribe to us if you haven't already, and check the links in the description for other platforms that we are sharing our media and videos on. All right, talk to you later. Thanks.